You want the truth? You want the truth? Can't handle the truth. You know what the truth is? The truth is, your friendly neighborhood comic book dude has an official hoodie now. And if that was not enough, got that brand recognition going on too for anybody that can't see that. Fan Expo Ambassador. Talked about that before in one of the previous videos, but you know, I'm going to add a link to the description, probably for this video, to some of the cool things that I'm doing with Fan Expo. If you've ever been to any of their conventions, they've got a couple in the north in Canada, and then they also do, there's Dallas, there's Boston, there's a handful in the States, and yours truly gets to help organize events with them now. Woo! What do I have for you guys this week? I don't know. Every week it seems like I take more and more, but maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe it's just all in my noggin. Alright, our first piece here, to me, is a little controversial. It probably really isn't. It's a little dirty, but it is Thade from Planet of the Apes. Now, to be clear, we're, you know, for people that are, you know, in my age bracket, you know, I'm the 30, you know, if you're 30 or older, you can literally say that there's 3 different iterations of Planet of the Apes within your lifetime. And while I love Tim Burton for most of his things, I'm not a fan of this version of Planet of the Apes. I could be in the minority, but this is, you know, Thade riding a horse. You know, I mean, at the very least, the imagery, you know, can be harkened back to from any of the versions, but it's just, I don't know, man. You know, I just didn't think he, just wasn't for me. But the piece itself is a cool looking piece, and I don't know if the general public agrees with me or not. But some combination of that and the fact that, you know, again, this box is pretty decently dirty. This is, even though the box is intact and everything, I would probably say that this is best suited for somebody that's going to open this bad boy up and display him. And for that reason, we're going to let him go for $25. 25. No. Skip that, because we actually profiled that last week, and I found a double of that. This is sort of new. At one point, I showed you guys a Mezco Mega Scale Regan from The Exorcist. So I found her like tiny equivalent. This looks very much in the vein of those Mega Scale. Like I want to say the design is the same, and it's just shrunk. This is a 6-inch Exorcist MDS Mezco figure. And you know, her price is about a sixth of the price of the Mega Scale one. I mean, she's gonna go for about $35. I get the sense that this is one of those things that probably just eked outside the availability window for people. It's from 2018. So I doubt you'd see it out in the wild, but maybe, you know, maybe somebody unloaded their warehouse stuff during the pandemic because they weren't getting an influx of new toys. But she's not that expensive. Again, $35. Cool little, like, you know, Regan piece, you know, if you're an Exorcist fan. Next. Well, this is another one that's, like, it's not a double, but we had something else in the same set. The Corpse Bride Everglot set. We had like the wedding, like almost like the Undead Wedding Processional, I want to call it, set. I'm sure it had a different name, but like these are all like living folks. So this is like the, you know, the family / friends of her husband, or her future husband there in the movie. So, oh god, what the hell's his name? Is it Victor? It's been a while since I've seen that one. Now see, this Tim Burton sparkles with me. So, this is pretty good. There's another one. Yeah, I mean, it's not too crazy expensive. Probably roughly about what you would have paid retail for this lovely McFarlane set. It's $35. I mean, so if you imagine each of these figures would have been like 10 a piece. Now they're really only like, I don't know, 7 and change a piece. A little more than that, maybe 8 and change. So it's not bad. And I mean, if you're the person who bought the other one, and can't find this, then you might want to pick this up and enhance your collection. I mean, this is from 2005, so 15 years old. Probably not just easy to come by. But it's McFarlane, so it also was mass produced. So there may be other folks out there selling it. What else we got? That also is a double. Yeah, we're starting to get to the point where I'm coming across a lot of doubles, which isn't a bad thing. They go up for sale, but it's just there's no reason for me to go over it with you guys again. Like you've seen it, we've enjoyed it, and if you're somebody who wanted to purchase the item, you'll see it in the listings, and you'll be like, I missed it the first time. Let me grab it this time. But a lot of it's like small stuff, like action figures or things. They're nothing like groundbreaking. If they're really big, and I happen to find a double of it, I'll show you again, and I'll be like, hey, you missed out on this the first time. Catch this now. But this we've had others in the vein of this. I know we had Dracula and Frank. So we found the Mummy from the Diamond Select cloth figures. These are from 2011. So yeah, definitely. I mean, these. So if it's Diamond in 2011, you only really would have been getting these out of the catalog, the previous catalog. I mean, over the years, Diamond's sort of like expanded. Like if you go now, GameStop's got Diamond exclusives. FYE has some. I kind of don't understand how, but maybe they want to like branch out, but they don't want to call them like. I think now that's partly why they distinguish between previews exclusive and like whatever the store exclusives are, so that way they can be like, okay, well, Diamond is not only in one place. So, but yeah, another relatively inexpensive piece. Hitting you with all the lowball stuff at first. It's gonna be somewhere between 20 and 30. The actual average on this guy was 20 to 35, so that comes out to 28. I'm thinking to just round to 30, but I'm not sure. Maybe we'll lean on 25. Hard to say. Either way, cool piece if you're hunting down Mummy and you don't have them yet. You got Dracula ready and you're like, oh hey, $30 Mummy, sold. These next three. I'll show you these all at once. So, a couple of times already now, and I've gushed about this each successive time because I'm genuinely shocked each and every time. I've come across a couple of these, what do you call them? They're called screen grabs from Mezco. And they're like a sub, where it's like three titles. It goes like Mezco, Cinema of Fear screen grabs. So like they have like so many sub names for these things. So I came across these little minifigures that are just straight up Cinema of Fears. They're not screen grabs, but they're in that same like series under the Cinema of Fear banner. I almost wonder if this was like Mezco's equivalent to like NECA Real Toys. I feel like we come across less Mezco stuff than we do NECA because NECA's just more prevalent. It's the Coke to Mezco's Pepsi. But I came across these, and they're actually all going to be the same price, but they're, all different guys. We got Leatherface, we got Jason, and we got Freddy. And they're all 3 3/4 inch figures. The cards on both Leatherface and Jason are solid. Freddy's has got a little bend in it. You can probably flatten that out, to be honest with you, or if you're the person who's going to open these up, because they actually all come with little bases, then it's a moot point. But yeah, I don't know again if it's because it's like Mezco or Cinema of Fear or whatever. These are all about 11 years old. They came out in '09. They're each gonna be $35. I may offer like a bulk buy on them, like maybe 90 for all three, or separately. You know, if somebody's only buying one and the others are left. Sorry to whoever else gets them. 35 each. That was literally what I found for all three of them. So it must be like the genuinely accepted price for these bad boys. But yeah, I mean they're pretty cool. They're pretty well detailed, given the size of figure that they are. I think of these three, it's tough to say. Freddy's the hard one to tell because like you can actually see his face, versus with Leatherface and like Jason, they're a little harder to come by. They're like their faces are both kind of generic, so it's like who's better. But, yep, so there's those. What else? Alright, time to start hitting with the big money. So, I've had one Black Cat statue pass through already, and it was a Marvel Universe statue. I don't know who did it. Actually, no. It was Marvel Universe, but it was a Bowen. It was still a Bowen. But it was a newer Black Cat. It kind of reminded me of like the J. Michael Straczynski Black Cat. And I like that one. I think if I had to pick, I'd probably prefer that one to the next one I'm going to show you. Not that she's bad. She looks great too. In fact, this is one of those rare pieces that if you guys don't buy it, I probably will. But she had a newer look. So this one they pattern off of like some of her more early appearances. Like this looks similar to the 80s. And it's another Tim Miller who seems to do a lot of those Bowens. It's from 2012, so it's about 8 years old. And as always with Bowen, it's a low number. It's a limited number. It's not actually a super low number, but she's 441 out of 600. Only 600 pieces. But as far as some of these Bowens go that I've been showing you guys over the last couple of weeks, she's relatively low comparatively. She's going to go for 175. I mean, again, it's a lot of money, but it's not last week Captain Marvel Warbird money, which update on that one. It didn't sell on Facebook, so I as always, I gave you guys the week on it, and she's up on eBay now. Buy it now on her. It was $725. And I let the bid ride. She hasn't sold yet, but she's at bid is at 510, which is still pretty crazy. So, at time of video, she has not yet sold, but you never know. Somebody might get a little gun shy and say 510. I'm just gonna pull the trigger on 725. So, but yeah, retro Black Cat. She's holding the little pearls and everything. She looks great. So yeah, I got another bone for you guys, but save that one for a little while from now. Okay, this next one, I took after I had taken last week. I showed you guys a Phantom, like Phantom of the Opera Phantom model kit from Aurora. So I came across some more, and in my thought process, I'm like, oh wow. So the Phantom's range was crazy. Like I found one online for about 20 was the low, but it was just a couple of pieces of the kit. It wasn't the whole kit, and you didn't have the box either. And then the high I found was 190 sealed. So realistically, we probably should have leaned on the high end, but as I've told you guys several times, I try to be fair. I try to give you the middle of the road. So, I got that one up at about $100 right now. So, but I saw more, and I said, let's try another one. And this one didn't go for as much. I don't know if it's because he's a more common figure versus the Phantom, where people weren't buying the Phantom at first, and then in hindsight they were like, "Crap, I can't find it now," and then it drove up the price. I couldn't tell you. I mean, everything about this one says it should be more. It's a Dracula. It's a Universal monster. It is. Ooh, where is it? Available exclusively at Toys R Us. So it was a Toys R Us exclusive in the year, where the heck is it? I want to say that this one was 1999. a time before exclusives were as prevalent as they are now. So, and it's an Aurora, and it's sealed. I mean, so everything about this says to me that it should be, as much or more even than the Phantom. I was surprised. The low on an open one on this was 50, and the high on a sealed one was 85. So for you guys, this is going to be a $65 kit for a Toys R Us exclusive from 20 plus years ago. But yeah, I mean, there's others. I know there's others I didn't take. I'm almost positive there's Wolfman Mummy Frank, and I'm also almost positive that there are multiples of them. So don't be shocked if, like, next week I'm like, you know what? Both the kits in a row have sold. Let me bring a whole set in. So, maybe. To finish off our foray into the X-Files Sideshow figures. So, the last couple of weeks, I've showed you like the cigarette smoking man. I showed you Mulder, Scully. There might be more of these. Oh yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure I even showed you guys Frank Black. So I came across John Doggett, who, to be honest with you guys, is sort of actually my first experience with X-Files. I didn't watch X-Files from the start because I was a kid when it was airing, but I got interested in that sort of thing, and then it came around, and it was like the first season that didn't have Mulder or Scully, and it was like John Doggett, some like an Agent Reyes, Mitch Pileggi's character. There was a bunch of changes, and I started watching that, and then at that point it started to be all like hinting about like where's Mulder, what's Mulder doing, and I got really into it. But Doggett was the face of X-Files for me before Mulder was, and that might be the case for some others, or for some collectionists, they may be interested in just snatching this up. So he's a 70 bucker, so about on par with the other ones. What else do we got? Oh wow! So this is a huge one. I got another thing that I'm like sort of shocked by the price by, but lovely. Six piece or seven? Six figure set. They didn't think Cyborg was cool enough to include. They made you buy him on your own, but you got Batman, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. This was, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a date on this. There's not, but this is, with a fair amount of certainty, this is supposed to be like the New 52 crew. And this is about like what the DC Collectibles started to look like around then. I mean, it's even got that, like changed logo after the New 52. So yeah, I mean, these are 6 figures. 6 figures. Another set of them on the back. I wonder if we'll find that. I haven't seen it yet. Cool set. You don't have to hunt down all these guys alone or separately. Monetarily, it's between 40 for loose and 120 sealed, so that's 80. Which I guess is pretty good. It's 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. If you considered having to buy these guys separately, most DC collectibles in this vein, in this time period, were 25 each, so 25, 50, 75, 100, 150. I just said that wrong, actually. I just realized that the back two are like different sets. This is the Alex Ross Justice set. That's actually even cooler. Which also sort of like throws me off as to why this thing's not going for more. These are all Alex Ross based figures. That's pretty cool, actually. But yeah, $80 will get you all 6 of them at a fraction of what these type of figures would go for on their own. Let's see. Another kit for you guys, because the kits just keep on fixing. Let's see here. I showed you guys a Herman at one point from the Mobius model kits, and then I came across Grandpa, So I said, hey, why not, Gramps? And eventually, whoever bought Herman, if you want to buy Gramps, or if you've already got Herman and not Gramps, you can kind of build your own little like diorama set with them, like side by side, doing their like little things, puttering around. Like you got Herman at the desk and Grandpa next to him, like on the phone and stuff. So not bad, and price is pretty fair. Low on an open was 30, and the high on a sealed was 65. So $45 get you Grandpa. I think that's probably equal to or less than retail. I feel like on a licensed material like this, you'd probably pay like 50 or more, especially because it's a kit. But I don't know, maybe 70, maybe 80, but 45 is what you pay. Let's put that there. Okay, so next is the expensive of the Bowens for the day. Probably because this is like a two-part figure. You can turn it into either one, it looks like. Because they're both in the same box, and I haven't opened her up because I try to avoid doing that, like with these things. I do believe I checked, and her seal is broken, but I try to avoid touching these so you guys can be the first. And not 100%. I think maybe this is the type of thing where you can like switch your head or something, because everything else about the figure looks the same. I keep flipping it back. No, I'm not so sure. Got it. But yeah, the figure looks pretty similar though, so I'm not sure if this is like an interchangeable or if this is just advertising two different figures. Either way, looks like a solid piece. Going under the assumption that it is in fact this classic one. She was up there, and she was a tough time finding this one actually at first when I did it. So she's number 513 out of 700 by our friend Roberto Von Bear at the Bowen Design Center, and she's gonna be $500. That might be our most expensive item for the day. I think the heart attack is less this week. What else we got? Yeah, we got a lot of like low to the ground, like easy stuff this week. Next one. I haven't come across much of this stuff yet. I have to imagine he really only got this because he was a fan of Amy Pond there. But the little like Amy Pond Doctor Who bust. Full disclosure there's a little bit of a sun fade there, but the figures in the box has not been displayed, so not limited number though. But she's a 50 bucker bust, so pretty standard price for these busts. Cool. What else? We've got a Marvel Select, well, not a Marvel Select, a Diamond Select Star Trek Next Generation figure with Captain Picard. There is a little bit of looseness on the card on this part, but the figure's never actually been removed or ripped apart. I'm sure that's something that could be Gorilla Glued back down, or just torn right off if it's going to be open. But solid piece, and we're going to let him go for $30. Roughly, a little bit more than you would have paid for him when he came out, but not by much. These are like $25 figures, so an appreciation over 7 years of $5 is not a bad percentage. So, next, we've had, the last couple of weeks I had a couple of like Femme Fatale figures. I had like Kabuki, I had Lady Death, things like that. So this one is in the vein of those, but it's a little bit more family friendly, I'd call it, because they don't call her a femme fatale, but the box is the same, the design is the same. Because it's a Disney figure, they probably were like erring on the side of no. But we got Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, she's a cheap one too. I don't know if this was just like mass produced or what, but this big old box, 12-inch figure, gonna get you $25. It's pretty good, and these are like very nice sculpt, like 3D printer quality when Diamond does their like PVC figures. So there she be. Alright, this next one I can say with some fair certainty that it's probably been opened because he's definitely loose in that box. Let's see if I can like hold him down a little bit, but you know, want everybody to understand we're not saying that this guy's brand new or anything. It's a blue alien from War of the Worlds from Pegasus Hobbies. It's a 6th scale. It's a nice looking piece. It's probably why it was open. Frank probably, enjoyed looking at this. It's a cool piece. It's from 2011. Alien creature. I said 1/6 scale. It's 1/8 scale. Sorry. It's gonna go. I had it listed at 45 because it was between 25 and 60. As I look at this now, and I feel kind of bad that it's loose, even though it's, for some people, they don't care either way. I think we're gonna go call this guy just $40. So there's that. Ooh, this next one's a cool piece. I was shocked at how much this was going for. We got ourselves a Friday the 13th mask from Mecca Real Toys, but it's not from any of the movies. Need a hint? It was from Friday the 13th. Destroy Jason If You Can, Power Play, on Nintendo. So it's based on the video game mask. And it glows in the dark too, still sealed. Couple of nicks on the plastic, but overall nothing terrible. Good for anybody who's actually like gonna open this thing up and display it. But yeah, this thing goes for $200. $200. Yeah, that just shocked me. But I don't know. Oh, let's see what else we got. This next one. This one's sort of a departure from some of the sideshow figures I've showed you, whose prices are fair to Midland. I mean, some of them are pricey. Like, I remember the Freddy versus Jason ones were... This one's actually, probably sort of in the same vein as that. Because his price was high. Yeah, wow. The low on an open Sideshow Halloween Michael was $70, and the high, sealed, is $400. Whew! I got $235 listed. I might go down to $225, make it a more, even number. You can call the other $10-15 part of the shipping. But yeah, it's a pretty solid one. This is OG Halloween Michael. Not much to say about this guy. He's kind of self-explanatory. Another one of our... I think this might be our last one that I know of. We've got another one of the Alien Hot Toys, but this is Dallas, who's also from the Nostromo crew. He's the captain, which is cool. But still, he's a hot toy. He's 12 years old. Just hard to come by, these things. He was between $300 and $350. So, I mean, there's not much room to wiggle, and these hot toys, I've yet to not sell one at the prices listed, so $325 is where Mr. Dallas is going to live, or, sorry, Captain Dallas. I don't want you to kill me before, an alien kills you. But, Next, we got some Marvel Masterworks hardcovers. Some of these bad boys. Actually, don't usually expect you guys on here to like want to buy these, but you never know. Cool covers, you know. Invincible Iron Man Volume 1 MMW. And was this Hulk Volume 5? Yeah. Cool. Not too pricey. I mean, Invincible Iron Man, wow, is $25. I mean, this has got the first, like, what, 10, 12 issues of Iron Man in it? That's crazy. I don't know. And then Hulk over here is $60, though, so go figure. And this is not the, like, first 6 issues, or 10 issues or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what happened in these issues of Hulk to drive up the price, but something. What do we got? Next one. One in our line of DC Direct 1/6 scale figures. Got ourselves the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott himself, with a light-up lantern to boot. This guy is beautiful. Great for anybody who's getting into Stargirl that's like got like a Justice Society, you know, yin going on right now. Also retconned in some of the more recent issues of DC to be an openly gay Green Lantern. I'm not sure if that's still like canon, because he has not been seen since, other than like, you know, like brief mentions and stuff. But I mean, you know, it's DC's way of being like more inclusive. I kind of try to stay out of the politics of those things. I mean, regardless, he's a super cool looking figure. I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Suffice it to say that I think some collectors, some longtime readers would prefer that they introduce new characters with new aspects and kind of keep the old characters how they were. But that's sort of like with anything. Everybody's got opinions. So, price though. Price on this bad boy. Low open was $61 and high sealed was $150. So, $100 on the money for this guy. Seems like a good price. Oh, what else do we got? Did I grab something I wasn't supposed to grab when I grabbed it? I thought that was right. Classic Monsters. I wonder if I had that twice. I don't know. Oh, here these guys are. We get these Diamond Select Universal Monsters figures. Another Mummy, because, you know, one wasn't enough today. These guys aren't cloth, though. So we got him and we got Wolfman. I'm sure we'll find Creature from the Black Lagoon at some point. Prices on these were pretty low, though. Wolfman's going to be a $20. Mummy was a little more at $30. And these were also Toys R Us exclusives. I don't know, man. Toys R Us must have just put too much out of stuff. You know, is it really exclusive if it's easy to come by? I don't know. Alright, racing towards the end. Oh, this one. This is a cool one for you horror fans out there. Oh, also an exclusive and kind of heavy. Hellraiser Cenobite Lair with 4 different action figures. What do we got? We got an exclusive female. We got... Oh, there's also an autographed pinhead illustration by Clive Barker inside. Ooh, I didn't even know that when I was doing the research on this. But it's got, yeah, all 4 Cenobites. Wow, this is super cool. Maybe I should reprice this. It was a Spencer's exclusive. You can see a little Spencer's exclusive logo on top. See a little thing about the illustration there. So this piece is between $90 for like open with missing figures and $340 sealed. So that means $215 for you guys. I'm probably going to get torn up on the horror boards for this and be like, oh my god, you're selling it too cheap. Then let somebody who wants it pay the cheap price. Sorry. What do we got? From there, we get some James Bond sideshows. I think we did one of him already. But I found some more, and I thought, let's clear these bad boys out. So we got a Sean Connery from Dr. No. I wonder if we'll find Dr. No. I see a figure for him on the back. These are, like, super cool, man. I love Bond. I really wish I could, like, justify these, but I just can't. Maybe someday. So we got a Dr. No Bond, and then we've also got a Goldfinger Bond. Oh, wow. There's also an Odd Job figure, too, that they show on the back. So, Goldfinger Bond is going to be $75. And Dr. No Bond apparently is harder to come by. It's going to run you $130. So, what else do we got? We got some NECAs. You know, it wouldn't be a normal week if we didn't find some of them. I'm starting to lose track of which Jasons I've shown you and which I haven't. I think that this is remake Jason from the Friday the 13th remake that had Sam Winchester in it. I don't remember that one, to be honest. I maybe saw it once, so you guys can feel free to correct me on that. But there's that. He's a NECA. And we've got Fred Krueger, who is the Freddy Krueger alter ego, like, / who he was before he got burned up guy, from the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And both these guys are relatively inexpensive. What do we got? Fred Krueger is going to run you $30, and remake Jason's going to run you $35. Oh, I love these. As we get towards the end here, I got an 18-inch Beetlejuice with act now, free demon possession with every exorcism. always the pitch, man. He does come with sound. Great looking piece. Kind of pricey though, unfortunately. Low opened was $168 and high sealed was $213. Gotta love those last minute eBay snipe prices. I think that sets our sights on this bad boy at about $190. He must be hard to come by, but he looks cool, man. I was always a fan of the Beetlejuice cartoon as a kid. I'm probably in the minority of the people that say they like the cartoon more than the movie. Sorry, don't vilify me. I'm one of them. Nothing against Michael Keaton. Just I got more of the cartoon to watch than I did the movie. So, what else do we got? Am I missing anything? I feel like I am. Well, I guess we're on to our last item here, children. Oh, yeah, that's why. There's one more thing I got for you guys. Where did I hide it? There it was. Skip past it. So I come across another of those Spencer's 18 inches with sound that were Spencer's exclusive. The numbering was crazy on these. This one was 1932 out of 30,000. If you can't tell from the side of the box already, we got Dr. Frankenfurter with sound and beautiful imagery from the film. Great for any Rocky Horror fan. Relatively inexpensive as well compared to some of these. Low was 50 and the high was 113, so I think we landed on $80 for the doc. Doc's got sound, I think. Try me if you dare. It's got a free Time Warp poster and a change of outfit for the lingerie. You can't go wrong with this thing if you're a Rocky Horror fan. But, other than that, that's what I got for you guys this week. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Some of these things that you see in the video might not be there when you get to the, Facebook groups or eBay or whatever, because I've got a Patreon, which I plug every week. $1 a month to get 24-hour early access to the things you see on YouTube goes there first. So by the time, it actually goes up for sale to the general public, some stuff might be missing. You might be all hyped up after watching this video, and then you're like, what the hell? $1. Literally costs you $1 a month, and it helps me store up some funds to get some better equipment. I'd love to get a full, setup going for YouTube here, and you can be a part of that. I've got one subscriber so far on Patreon, TJ Gomez, great recurring customer. So, maybe if you think you're one of those recurring customers and you want that early heads up, hop on in with us. I've been your friendly neighborhood comic book dude. I will catch you guys next time.